Hi everybody, Geraldine Rose here. I need to make a birthday card. I'm gonna use some tissue paper and then I'm making it purple. First off, just reminding you that there is a mail call giveaway down below if you want to enter. And there is a class with Amy. And there's some alt new stuff if you want to take advantage of my AF links. Okay, this is a card for Crafty Engineer. She is one of the main people that organizes our Instagram hops. Of course, I want to send her a birthday card because of everything that she does for us. It was for the Tags and Techniques hop. And I also did one other card for this one. It was for diffuse embossing and for stacked die cuts, both of which I've done on a few occasions before. This one, I thought I would do a little something different for the background. So I've started out with some Mod Podge, slapping that down, and then I've got some tissue paper that one of my orders came in, and Crafty Engineer, she loves a purpley blue. So I thought it would be really neat to put that down for a background. You can see that I smooshed it together while the Mod Podge was still wet so that I got the crinkles in the tissue paper, and I let it dry a little bit, and then I came over with some ink smooshing in purple tones with just a piece of plastic sheet, and then just dabbed it a little bit more down in the bottom right hand corner to get a gradient going so that it would be darkest in that corner. We're also putting down some shimmer spray. I think I put a couple of drops of the micas as well in the purple colors. Then I'm coming back in with the purple inks, and I am taking my mini blending brush and I am dabbing it into the paper. So from the top down, just bam, dab, dab. I'm not rubbing it back and forth because tissue paper is quite fine and I didn't want to rip it. For the inside, let's see if I can say this, tranquil, see, I can't say that word. Tranquil greetings was the sentiment I used for the inside. I kept it really simple this time because I knew the front was going to be so bright with all the colors, right? Custom stamp is going on the back already. And you will notice this is a top fold card. I do not do these that often. I wanted to do something special with it though, because the embossing folder that I was using is the arches one. And so I brought out my nested arches and I have die cut off the top corner of the tissue panel. And I'm also die cutting off the top corners of this top folding card. But I have that edge over top of the card so that when you open it, that fold has not been cut. It's also why I only had the cutting plate in partially across that when I was running it through the Big Shot. Okay, for the diffusing part, you'll notice that this is where my shirt changed color. This was because it was when I was recording first for the other card and I was making the diffuser. So you bring out some scrap cardstock and you can either do a diffuser with about 5 layers of cardstock all in one size, or with a nesting set, you can do them successive sizes one after the other. One blends it out more, one puts a hard imprint. So I used the blendy one out more. I placed that down on top of my arches folder as I was running it through, and it puts more pressure on where you've got it the thickest, and then it eases it out towards the outside. All right, so we set that down on our sticky grid map, and we got out the scattered tiles, and I got out some sparkle paste, the glitz paste, and I got out 2 of the solar paste, the blue and the purple, mixed them as I was putting them across that, and put it aside to dry. I am grabbing out the Altenew. This was the Dahlia, the April Heather one. I've got a light blue cardstock. I'm going to deepen this up so that, like watercolor, if you build layers up, the undercolor will still show through. So I started out with a slightly darker turquoise blue, and then I brought in the lighter purple, the mid purple, at the end, the darkest purple, the ultraviolet. And what I'm doing is I still have the lightest blue towards the outside, and for the inner portion with the dark purple and this Ride the Wave, the blue, I'm not blending it as much as I'm just dabbing it in there with, again, the mini blending brush to get a chunk of color in the middle. Now, because the background on the tissue paper had some very geometric forms in it from how it had dried, I did the same by bringing that scattered tiles stencil back in and I used the darkest blue that like is a navy blue ink to put that on just the big petals, not on the inner ones, but just the big ones. So we have a continuity going between what we've got with the solar and the sparkle paste in the background and on the petals, and kind of the geometric forms on the tissue paper. Now, this is one of the keyhole ones from Alt New, and you can assemble this really quickly. Obviously, I've sped it up, but I think I got that flower together in about a minute or so. Uh, each of them has got a different shape in the middle so that you know which one to put in which. And for the middle portions, I stacked some old like a jelly plate prints that I had left over with a little bit of glitter cardstock. Of course, we have to have some splatter. So we have the mica gold ink from Kentucky, and we're just putting that across it because I thought it would help to bring out that orange yellow that we've got that's acting as a complementary for the purple. Okay, I didn't have enough of that panel left though, so I just brought out the gel plate again. I'm just putting a little bit down of the chamomile and the snapdragon, which are a mid and lighter orange, and I'm just pushing this into that gel print to get a little bit more texture for when I'm going to die cut it out. And this is with the Birthday Wish die set. This one I find a little bit hard to get a clean cut on it because it's so fine, but you can clean it up with a little bit of masking tape around the edge. And this, I have the African daisies, the leaves from it, because they were finer, they were narrower, and I didn't want to use the ones from the Dahlia set because they were just too big for what we had happening in the panel. I used a blue-green ink with them so that they would go in with the cooler tones of the blue and the purple. And then I kind of splooched them a little bit again to bring in the texture of the ink pads so that they would have a geometric form to them. Deciding where I'm putting the happy birthday. It's kind of a little bit more over to the left than I wanted, but at the same time, I didn't want to cover up too much of the flowers because, you know, you put all that work into them and they're so pretty. They did flatten down from when I had used the ball tool on them. Shiny, shiny, bling, bing. Although this isn't shiny because there's already so much shiny going on in the background. These are just the enamel dots, and I concentrated them down in that right-hand corner to add a balance of yellow and oranges to the yellow and oranges that we had through the rest of the card. So there we are. That's the finished card. It's going off to Crafty Engineer tomorrow when we get down to the post office. Oh, and the envelope, I used another of the Dahlia sets and then one of the Simon Says Stamp Crafty Mail sets to just add a little bit of extra on it. Thanks everybody for watching. You all go be that change you want to see in the world. We'll catch you all next time. Bye-bye, everybody.